The genius scientist of Shadow Garden, seemed completely obsessed with shadow, Cid Kagenou. Is it admiration, loyalty, worship, or something much darker? In this deep dive, we explore the psychology behind Eda's devotion to Shadow, uncovering why she sees him as far more than a leader. From her twisted genius and endless curiosity to her willingness to abandon morality in pursuit of Shadow's vision, Eda may actually be the most dangerously loyal member of Shadow Garden. We'll analyze her character, her relationship with Shadow, her hidden motivations, and why her obsession stands apart from Alpha, Beta, Delta, and the rest of the 7 shadows. If you've ever wondered why Eda follows Shadow with such fanatical dedication, this video breaks down every detail from the Eminence in Shadow. Spoiler warning for anime, manga, and light novel content. Topics covered. Who is Eda? Eda's true personality explained. Why Eda worships Shadow. The psychology behind her obsession. Eda versus the other 7 shadows. Why Shadow unintentionally created a monster. The darkest form of loyalty in Shadow Garden. Future implications of Eda's devotion. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Shadow Garden for more anime analysis. Among all the members of Shadow Garden, there is one person whose loyalty feels less like devotion and more like an obsession. A woman who would sacrifice sleep, ethics, common sense, and perhaps even the entire world if it meant advancing Shadow's goals. That woman is Eda. At first glance, Eda appears harmless. She's sleepy, quiet, detached, almost uninterested in everything around her. But beneath that lazy exterior lies one of the most dangerous minds in all of Shadow Garden. And unlike Alpha, who respects Shadow, unlike Beta, who idolizes Shadow, or Delta, who follows Shadow out of instinct, Eda's loyalty comes from somewhere much darker. Because to Eda, Shadow isn't just a leader. He's the only person who matters. Today we're diving deep into why Eda is so obsessed with Shadow and why her devotion might be the most terrifying loyalty in the entire series. Part 1. Who is Eda really? Before we understand her obsession, we need to understand Eda herself. Eda is the 7th seat of Shadow Garden and one of the legendary 7 shadows. She's known as the organization's greatest inventor and researcher. Many of Shadow Garden's technological advancements exist because of her genius. Yet despite her intelligence, Eda is incredibly disconnected from normal human emotions. While other members form friendships, rivalries, and emotional attachments, Eda spends most of her time researching. People bore her. Conversations bore her. Social interactions bore her. In many ways, Eda lives entirely inside her own mind. And that's what makes her so different. Because when someone like Eda finally becomes interested in something, that interest becomes absolute. It consumes her completely. Part 2. The first person who shocked her. One of the most overlooked details about Eda is that Shadow is probably the first person who ever truly surprised her. Think about it. Eda is a genius. Most people around her are predictable. Most inventions seem obvious. Most conversations are repetitive. For someone with an intellect far beyond ordinary people, life becomes boring. Then Shadow appears, and suddenly everything changes. Every idea he introduces sounds revolutionary. Every concept seems impossible. Every action defies her expectations. From Eda's perspective, Shadow is a limitless source of innovation. He's an endless mystery. No matter how much she learns about him, she never reaches the bottom. And for someone who values knowledge above everything else, that is irresistible. Shadow becomes the ultimate puzzle, the ultimate research subject, the ultimate source of inspiration, and that fascination slowly evolves into obsession. Part 3. Shadow is a god and Eda's is. Most members of Shadow Garden admire Shadow because they believe he saved them. Eda is different. She doesn't merely believe Shadow is powerful. She believes he's operating on a completely different level of existence. Remember something important. The 7 shadows constantly witness Shadow accomplishing things that should be impossible. Every prediction he makes comes true. Every strategy succeeds. Every enemy falls. Every mystery somehow connects back to his plans. The audience knows much of this is coincidence. But Shadow Garden doesn't, especially Ita. From her perspective, Shadow appears omniscient. He appears perfect. He appears almost divine. And when a genius starts believing someone is infinitely smarter than herself, that admiration can become worship. Ada begins viewing Shadow as the ultimate authority, the ultimate truth, the ultimate standard. Part 4. The dangerous side of her obsession. Here's where things become frightening. Most loyal followers still maintain their own moral compass. Ada doesn't. She isn't driven by morality. She's driven by curiosity. And curiosity without limits can become dangerous. If Shadow gave a vague suggestion, Ida would spend months trying to expand it into reality. If Shadow mentioned an impossible concept, Ida would dedicate her life to achieving it. Not because she's ordered to, but because she wants to. That's the scary part. Her obsession is self-sustaining. She doesn't need instructions. She creates them herself. She interprets Shadow's words as profound wisdom and pushes them further than anyone imagined. In some ways, Eta may understand Shadow less than anyone, yet she's willing to follow him further than almost everyone else. Part 5. Why Ita's loyalty is darker than Beta's. Many fans assume Beta is Shadow's biggest admirer, and while Beta absolutely worships Shadow, her devotion is emotional. She loves the stories, the heroism, the mythology surrounding him. Ada's loyalty is different. It's colder, more analytical, more dangerous. Beta follows Shadow because she believes in him. Ada follows Shadow because she believes he's the answer to every question she has ever asked. For Beta, Shadow is a hero. For Ada, Shadow is truth itself. That's a much deeper level of dependence, and a much more dangerous one. Part 6. The irony of Cid Kagenou. The funniest and most tragic aspect of this entire relationship is that Cid has absolutely no idea. Cid thinks he's simply acting out his fantasy of being the Eminence in Shadow. He's role-playing, improvising, making things up as he goes. But every action he takes only strengthens Ida's belief. Every accidental success becomes proof of his genius. Every coincidence becomes evidence of his foresight. Every ridiculous statement becomes a profound lesson. Without realizing it, Cid has created a follower who sees him as something far beyond human. And the gap between reality and perception keeps growing larger. Part 7. Why Ita may become the most dangerous Shadow. Looking toward the future, Ita's obsession could become one of the most important elements in the story. Because unlike other members of Shadow Garden, Ita possesses the intelligence and resources to reshape entire nations. Her inventions already influence the world. Her research continues to push boundaries nobody else understands. And she does all of it for Shadow. Imagine what happens when someone with limitless intelligence becomes completely devoted to one person. That's not just loyalty. That's power concentrated around a single belief. And that belief is Shadow. If Alpha is the heart of Shadow Garden, and Delta is its fangs, then Eta is its mind. A mind that never stops working, never stops researching, never stops trying to fulfill what she believes to be Shadow's grand vision. Conclusion. At the end of the day, Eta's obsession isn't about romance. It isn't even about friendship. It's about meaning. Before Shadow, the world was boring, predictable, uninteresting. After Shadow appeared, everything changed. He gave her mysteries to solve, ideas to pursue, a purpose to chase. For Eta, Shadow isn't merely a leader. He's the center of her universe. And that's what makes her loyalty so dark. Because while other members choose to follow Shadow, Eta has built her entire reality around him. And when someone's entire reality depends on a single person, that devotion can become terrifying. Narrator. But what do you think? Is Eta the most loyal member of Shadow Garden? Or is her obsession actually a ticking time bomb waiting to explode? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Eminence in Shadow, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more Shadow Garden analyses. Until next time, we lurk in the shadows and hunt the shadows.